guys, my name is Yasmin Rodriguez. Many of you guys know me from Danbury High, Danbury period. I am 23 years old. I'm in my first pregnancy, viable pregnancy. I've had past miscarriages, but that's another story time. So many of you said that you guys want to hear rather about a past domestic violence relationship that I was in when I ran away from DR when I was 16, or how I reversed PCOS. So I chose running away from DR when I was 16 years old. So when I was 15, 14, 15, I believe it was 15, right? When I was 15, I was going through so much at home, mentally, emotionally. I was living with my grandparents at the time, and it was very difficult. I was going through really, really difficult things. First and foremost, I was adopted by my aunt, which I call her mom. And then my biological mom, she lives in DR. I met her when I was 11, 12. And that's another story time about, like, you know, mine and her relationship and my life and how did everything happen. So so I was 15 years old. I was living with my grandparents. I was going through things emotionally, and my grandparents, they talked to my older sister and told her that to trick me, that she's going on vacations and my cousins are going on vacations, so that I should go on a vacation. Mind you, I had a feeling, if you're Dominican, you know, like, if your parents say, oh, let's go to DR, and let's say you weren't really on your best behavior, you're always like, no, you're gonna leave me there. And so I had a feeling that they were gonna leave me there. And so so my sister kept telling me, come on, let's go to DR. And I was like, no, they're gonna leave me there. She's like, no, come on, it's gonna be fun. I had a feeling because I was going through, like, my rebellious phase. I was sneaking out a lot and going to, like, parties and stuff, but nothing with, like, drugs, or nothing, like, with being disrespectful. It was just party. And again, that's a story time to tell you how I went through emotions as a teenager and what was going through my head mentally. But I was going through like depression, and I was going through a lot. Okay. So I knew that they were tricking me. I had a gut feeling that they were tricking me. So my sister was like, okay, yes, come on, let's go to DR. Come on, my cousins are going. You know, my family, if you know my family, like, at least the cousin side, the younger side, were close. Like, come on, we're going. I was like, okay, fine. You guys are not gonna leave me there, promise me. And my grandparents promised me. Right. When I went to DR in 2013, in the summer, I was told that, you know, I'm going there for vacation. I'm going through a really hard time, and, you know, I should go on vacation. And so I was like, okay. I was excited. So me going to DR with my family, I thought it was going to be a really good thing for me emotionally. So that summer, I was getting ready. You know, we were getting ready. We packed our clothes the day before. I asked my grandparents again, are you sure you're not leaving me there? And they were like, no. They're like, no, it's a vacation. Like, we will never do that to you. Listen, listen, when we got to DR, I got off the plane, right? And my mom lives there. We got off the plane, we got to my mom's house. Like, we got to, like, my family has a house over there, so my mom was there and stuff, my biological mom. Mind you, I have not lived with my mom ever. Like, so this is me, like, actually meeting her, like, getting to know her for real, like, at 15. So I go to DR. I'm with her, and she's like, she grabs my passport, and she was like, you know you're not going back, right? Like, I literally just got there. She's like, you know you're not going back, right? And I was like, honestly, I froze, but then I'm like, you know what, we're gonna have a good time. Like, I wasn't paying attention to it. Like, yeah, right, I'm not going back. That was me, like, yeah, right. So me coming, okay, so we were all having a good time. You know, it's been a first day, second day, third day, we were all having a good time. And I think it was over, like, it was around, like, the 5th day. I guess my family, like, my sister, my cousins, I guess they were going, like, to Santiago, part of DR, somewhere else. And I was like, all right, so I wasn't gonna go. So what happened was, they went to Santiago, and my mom was like, no, I'm serious, you're not going back. You're not going back to CT, like, you're gonna live here. And at first, it still didn't hit me until I saw my sister and my cousin pack all their stuff and leave. And then I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do? The only thing that didn't keep me from overreacting was the fact that a month before I went to DR was an ex-boyfriend of mine got sent to DR as well. And he lived 4 hours away. So we were gonna be long distance while I was in CT and he was in DR, but he ended up getting sent a month before me. So then he was there, and I was like, you know what, he's 4 hours away, so it's not that bad, and whatever. So this is July. August comes, you know, I'm like, all right, whatever, it's fine. I start school. School is horrible. My first day of school, first of all, we had to wear these fucking uniforms that were like, the shirts were like up to here, right? And there was like button downs. You had to wear like the button down tucked in, long navy blue pants, socks with ballerina slippers. You couldn't wear pinchos in your hair, because pinchos is like the black clips, because I was in a private school, and a lot of girls in DR over there, they fight with pinchos, and so they didn't really allow that. And so okay, so then I'm there, it's August, then September comes, and my ex-boyfriend begged his mom, let me go back, please let me go back, because he was living with his dad out there. And she finally gave in and she let him come back. So he was since here in CT and I was over there still. So we were going through long distance, and before you know it, like the months go by. Mind you, let me go back. My mom hid my passport. Okay? My mom hid my passport. Right? So I didn't know where it was. She hid my passport. Okay? So I'm in so he goes back in September, right? Months go by. I'm going through a lot of stuff with my mom and my stepdad, her man at the time. And I was like, God, every day I was like, God, please let me find my passport. Please, God, please let me find my passport. And it was hard. Like, the life over there is not like here. Like, I was going through a lot of shit, and again, that's another story time. I was going through a lot of stuff over there, and I was like, just like on my knees. You would see me on my knees, like, God, please let me go to DR. Let me go to DR. I was like, please let me get to CT. Let me go back. I'll be good. And even though to me, going partying wasn't like, oh my God, the worst kid. Like, but again, that's how my family depicted me. Like, that's how they wanted others to see me, that I was the black sheep in the family, like the bad one, the worst one, the one that starts problems. So then I was begging God. I was like, God, please. I had one friend there in my classroom. She spoke English, and she was helping me like copy notes because everything there was Spanish. I didn't know. I knew Spanish, but I knew like the ghetto Spanish, like not the formal. So I couldn't really write. But eventually I learned, and school became easy. But those first few months, it was so hard. It was depressing. So had a couple girlfriends that were in school, and I had one that spoke English, and I remember she actually, I still talk to her here and there, but she helped me. Okay, so I was begging God, and one day my mom and her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, my biological mom and her boyfriend, because remember, I have an aunt that I call mom, and then I have my biological mom. So my biological mom, she was like, let's pack his things. They were fighting, so like she wanted me to pack his things, like to help her pack his pants. And I remember her telling me, pack his pants. Let me tell you, I was packing his pants. I was putting his pants in the garbage bags. She was kicking him out. And boom, the freaking passport fell on the floor. You know what the hell I did? I took the passport and I put it in my pants. And I was still putting like his jeans, his pants in the garbage bags. And then she came by and she was like, all right, she threw the bags of jeans, the pants, whatever, outside, like for him to take his clothes. And all I did was go to the bathroom, lock the door, and I was like, thank you, God. Like, I was like, God, thank you. Like, you answered my prayers, and you answered my prayers. Oh my God, thank you. Mind you, so remember, I kind of went ahead. I don't want to talk about my whole life in DR from September to July or July to July. So I was there for a full year, and I came back July 4th. July 4th, I came back. So, okay, so my bad. My camera got cut off, but came back July 4th. But it started when, so I found my passport. I gave it to my friend to keep, and I was like, yo, keep this for me. Like, like I've been trying to get the fuck out of here. And she was like, all right, so she kept it for me. And then like a few weeks or a month or two, so this was like January, a month or two, my mom noticed, and I was like, She was like, you got your passport? And I was like, me? I started crying. I was like, you lost my passport. You lost my passport. You lost that shit. And she was like, you have it. I was like, no. I was like, you lost it. That's the problem. You freaking lost it. Now you scared because you lost it. And so she kept saying that I had it. She called my grandma and told her I had it. My grandma's like, if you have the passport, give it back. Now they know I'm crazy, so that's why she told her to give it back. She told me to give it back, and I was like, nah, because y'all gonna try to keep me here forever, okay? And so I stuck to my story. I don't have that passport, period. So what ended up happening, my mom put two and two together, so she thought, she realized and thought that my friend had it because she checked everywhere and she couldn't find it. So eventually my friend, she got in trouble by her mom, and me and my friend stopped being friends because of it, because tension caused, and she was like, you got me in trouble by my mom, and me and her stopped being friends for a little bit. So me and her stopped being friends for a little bit, and so she gave me back my passport, and I kept it. I slept with that passport. I took a shower with that passport. I did everything with that passport. I brought it everywhere, every second, every time with me. Now, in the process of me keeping my passport, me and my ex-boyfriend, we were planning how I was going to get there. I decided that I was not going to use a suitcase from my house, because obviously they're gonna know. They're gonna suspect that I'm planning something. So I paid my friend like some kind of money. I paid her, I think it was like $100 to help me. So she let me borrow one of her small suitcases. And every day at school, I handed her a shirt, or I handed her pants, or I handed her shirt. Whatever. I handed her clothes every day at school. So if I went to school today, I will give her a shirt. Tomorrow, I'll give her some pants. Tomorrow, the next day, I'll give her underwear. So she was packing for me. So I was bringing clothes little by little in my backpack so she could pack for me. And so, so then, what happened after? Oh yeah, so she was packing for me, and so eventually the day before came, and one of my cousins over there, she was like some kind of witch. Some kind of witch. She wrote tarot cards to me, and she was telling me what I was gonna go through if I came back here, and if I ever come back here, whatever. And then she was telling me that 2 people are gonna visit me soon here in DR, and eventually the next day, the day before I left, my grandparents came to come and visit me. And I was happy, and then eventually I felt a little bad, but then I was like, I have to do this. I have to. And so so the day before, I packed everything up. Like, I made sure my friend had everything. I told my mom that I'm gonna sleep over at my friend's house. She's having a graduation party. My mom let me. She let me to make the graduation party, but really, I was leaving. I was out on that bus, and I had to go somewhere else 5 hours away. So let me tell you. So me and my ex-boyfriend, we planned how I was gonna leave. He worked at Dunkin' at the time, so he paid my one way here, which was like $200, $200. So they planned that I was gonna come here, but before that, I had to go meet up with his aunt that lived in La Vega, something like that. It's like 4 or 5 hours away from Sosua. So I went on the bus over there. When I was waiting at the bus stop, my friend went on a motoconcho. Now, motoconchos are like motorcycles over there that are taxis. And she went on a taxi, motoconcho, and she had my little suitcase in a garbage bag, and she put it on her lap. to bring it to me. So she brought it to me because over there where I live in Los Charamicos is so small. They start talking. So I didn't, we didn't want to give it away that she had a maleta and who was it for. And I saw Yaz's friend with a maleta and what is she doing with it? People talk. So she put it in a garbage bag and brought it to me at the bus stop. I grabbed it. She was like, good luck. She's like, good luck. I love you. Call me when you get there. And I was like, all right. I was like, thank you for everything. And I got you. I'm going to send you that money. She's like, all right. I went on the bus. And a couple minutes later, I think my mom calls me on my phone. She was like, oh, what are you doing? And thank God the buses had like TVs. They had like little TVs so you can hear like background noise. I'm like, nothing, just here with my friend watching a movie. She's like, oh, okay. And so after that, I was like, whew. She called me, whatever. Okay, sorry, my camera keeps turning off on me. I don't know why. It keeps stopping. Okay, so then after, she called me and stuff, then I was driving to like La Vega to meet up with his aunt that I never met. So at this time I'm 16 years old and I'm getting ready to escape this country at a young age, knowing dang well it's hard to get by the airports at a young age with no parents or nothing. So I finally get to La Vega and I meet his aunt. I guess she figured out my description because my ex-boyfriend told her, and she was like, oh, are you Yaz? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, I'm here to help you. Like, don't worry, we're gonna get you out of here. And I was like, okay. So we spend the night there. I didn't spend the night. So it was like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. when I got there. And so around 12 a.m., 1 a.m., she brought me to the airport. So I spent like the rest of the day there with her. And my friend called me around 10 p.m. and she was like, hey, girl. I was like, hey. She was like, girl, you're good. Your mom is here. She over here drinking. I think she a little drunk. You good. Like, she has no idea. I was like, bet. So I'm sorry if you guys hear like any background noise, like any like someone talking. It's my man is playing freaking 2K with his friends. But she was like, what was I saying? Oh, she was like, you good? I was like, bet. All right. So it finally comes to 12 a.m. and getting ready, like I'm out. So at this time I already have my belly button pierced. I got my first back tattoo, and I have extensions in. So I'm trying to look as old as possible to get through this airport. I get to the airport and security guard is passing by and they're asking, are you with who? And the little kids, are you with who? Are you with her? Are you with your mom? Who's your mom? Younger kids. And so I get nervous. And so my ex-boyfriend's aunt gets me past the phase 1, but then there's phase 2. So one of the workers there, if you guys know Dominican men, they flirt with anything and anybody, and they just nasty. They just want to flirt. So the guy was like, oh, you beautiful, you cute, what's your number? He was one of the guys to let you pass by. And I was like, oh, what's your name on Facebook? I said like Maria Gomez, something like that. I said like Maria Gomez. I don't know what I said. I said something like Maria Gomez, something like that. And he took it. I was like, it's okay. So I passed by and I needed somebody for phase 3. Like I needed to go on to the next step to pass the guards. And so after that, I asked this woman if she can act like she's my aunt. And she was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. And next thing you know, at like around 1 a.m., they started saying there was a layover with my flight. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna find out. Like, now there's a layover. I gotta stay here till like 6 in the morning. She's gonna find out I'm going back. But eventually, like, the time went by fast, and I had the woman to like help me out to get through, and she basically acted like she was my aunt throughout the whole flight. And they finally started calling names, and next thing you know, I was on the plane. And let me tell you, when I was on that plane, I was like, thank you, God. Now all I gotta do is land. All I gotta do is land at New York. And so while I was on the plane, finally I landed, and then I needed to pass the policeman. And so then I started saying like, talking to them like, you know, I want to be just like you guys. Like, I used to be a police explorer. Now that I think about it, it's so funny. I was like, oh, I wanted to be just like you guys. I was a police explorer, and they're like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And so, like, you know, he's stamping it, whatever, looking at. Okay, so then he finally stamps it. I get through, and I was like, all right, I'm here. And next thing you know, I get to the airport. I see my ex-boyfriend, his sister, everybody else. I'm here. Like, I'm here. I'm like, yes. It's like, one more thing. I was like, I gotta call her and tell her I'm here. She's gonna try to find me. She's gonna be looking for me, and I just wanted to get over with it. And I called her, and so her ex-husband, boyfriend, whatever, picked up, and he was like, hello. I was like, hey. He was like, yes. I was like, yeah. He was like, well, why are you calling me from a New York number? I was like, that's why I'm calling. Yeah, about that. Yeah, I'm here. I'm in New York. I came here. He's like, no. I was like, no, yeah, I'm here. I'm in New York. I planned this out for months. I'm here. So if you could just tell my mom I'm here and give me the phone. He's like, how do you think she's gonna feel? I'm like, she's gonna be mad, but I needed to come back. Like, I'm here. I'm in New York. And I wanted you guys to know so you guys don't figure out why I'm not home yet. So he didn't believe me. He tried to call me from my phone number, my DR phone number. And he was like, oh my God. He called me back. He was like, oh my God. He's like, you really are there. I was like, yep. He's like, well, I'm gonna pass you your mom your phone. And my mom got the phone. She was like, eso es lo que tú querías. Blah, blah, blah. That's what you wanted. Long story short, that's how I escaped. And later on, my life became very hard after that, but I'm glad I went through what I went through, and that's another story time on my after life of that situation. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I've been having trouble with this freaking camera this whole time, so just let me know if you guys have any questions or anything. Just put it on the video below, the comments below. Subscribe, turn on your notifications, right? Yeah, turn that on. And yeah, let me know what else you want to know about me. I have a lot to say, so just depends what you guys want to hear. I went through a lot of crazy shit, but comment below, subscribe, and yeah, bump day. I am 6 months. Baby boy is big. Bye, guys.